Welcome and thank you for tuning into this weekly InSalt number 268. What's up? It's CD. I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I miss podcasting with you guys. I'm joined as always with my favorite people in the whole world. What's up, Wade? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Yeah, it feels like it's been longer than it actually has been.
I know.
Right.
I missed a couple weeks. You know, I was out of town and whatever. And then Laura, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How was Arizona?
Hot. I have skin peeling off of my body right now, and I don't know what to do. Kurt, our sound engineer, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I think I maybe stammered my words there.
How are you doing, my brother?
We're joined this week by a very special guest, Mr. Jesse Long. How are you doing, brother?
What up?
What's up, man?
Guys?
Good.
Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah. Welcome to the studio.
This place is dope, man.
Studio.
Well, we haven't heard that in a while. Shit. Throwback. What's the earliest episode you think you've done that in?
I don't know, man, but 268. It's probably,
it back.
It's probably happened a few times, man.
I'll tell you what, I have been enjoying the warmer weather. I'll tell you what. But now I'm actually getting worried about flooding.
Yeah. Especially after our trip Friday.
Yeah. I went out.
Where was your guys' trip?
We went to Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, yeah. We you go up Spanish Fort Canyon, take 89 through Fairview out there, but the river already out there is overflowing on the road, and they're just put up a construction sign that says flood zone, slow down.
Like, and then there's water in the middle of the road.
Going across the middle of the road, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
crazy.
Thistle used to be, if you remember 1983, the mountain slid there, and they tried like all this shit to correct it, and they never were able to keep up with it, so the whole town had to leave. You can still see the rooftops and stuff as you're driving on 89.
There's still a house underwater there.
Yeah.
That's where Willie Nelson lives. Hopefully he's not underwater.
He does?
Yeah.
Thistle?
Yeah, and no, in Mount Pleasant.
Oh.
Yeah.
It seems, you know what?
Really?
It seems like a place Willie Nelson would like.
Yeah, he's got the 420 ranch.
It's the only place in Utah where you can legally grow weed.
Yeah.
Somehow. No, I went out there. My grandpa has a park dedicated to him in Mount Pleasant. I went to go see, which is cool.
That's cool.
That's where my dad grew up. And then, of course, go to the shout out to the Triangle Lounge in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah,
they made us feel very welcome. Yeah.
The bar's been there for 60 years.
Is that like the only bar in?
It's the only. There's no bar in Moroni or any surrounding town. It's just in Mount Pleasant, so everybody goes from all the surrounding towns to that bar. It was awesome walking in the door because in a small town like that, they know everybody. So as soon as we walked in, it was like out of a movie. Everybody looks at you. They're like, "You're not from around here." And then finally, one guy came up. His name was Mike.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike.
He came up and was like, "So, do you guys just tourists?" You know, we're like, no, my dad grew up here, and he was like, oh yeah, I know of the dealership that your grandpa owned. I know of that, and he started talking to us, but he was cool.
Did you tell him like, hey, just so you guys know, like we were a little skeptical coming in here because the bar where we're from in Salt Lake, the Triangle Bar, it's a gay bar.
Not quite the same.
There's lots of skeptical things that goes around. Nothing wrong with the gay community, but
I don't think it would be wise going into a small farmer town and say, I thought this was a gay bar.
Clearly it was.
I almost guarantee that like 9 out of 10 of the people in there are packing a shotgun.
Yeah. It's a little scary in there. We played there one of our first shows.
Oh, you did?
You did?
Was down there. We played with Penrose, and some of the local girls are getting kind of friendly and like, okay, this is cool. And then they're like, oh, and that's my husband right there. And the big drunk cowboy was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Maybe we should get out of here.
It's totally like that.
Jesse, is that a thing? Like, do you have to like
groupies?
Beat off the.
You don't beat off the women. You know what I mean? They're women.
But like the groupies.
I don't know. Groupies is a little bit of a strong word, but there's women.
Jesus, dodging your question. Which is for good reason, I'm
good
sure.
Dodge.
But I think that, especially in a small town, too, because you're not from the town and you're
fresh meat.
Yeah. Like, hey, fresh meat's in town tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the girl's giving me a neck massage, and that's my husband, a big, hovering, huge cowboy. I'm like, oh, yeah, my neck feels good, actually.
I was like, howdy, partner. I'm the next
that.
one that's going to be massaging your face with my fist.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a cool place, though. Mike was cool.
Yeah,
he talked her ear off.
in Vietnam, and he told me a story that I was like, and nothing. This is kind of religious thing, but we usually kind of stray away from that. But he went to Vietnam, and his friend that he grew up with went to Vietnam as well. He was a door gunner in a helicopter, and he got killed. And then years later, Mike ran into his mom, and she told him that he was the biggest piece of shit and that he should have died instead of her son because he went on a mission. And I said, that's kind of fucked up.
It was fucked up.
He's like, I'll never forget her name. And I was like, I bet you won't. I was like, you probably don't burn her house down either, because you just told us that story and I don't want to be involved. You know, but
she said that she was going to burn his house.
No. That was just a joke. But I can't believe that somebody would wish that somebody else would die,
right.
You know, because I mean, it's a war. It doesn't matter. War doesn't care what religion you are. Yeah. You just die or you live and you get lucky.
Yep.
But just goes to show that even in a small town where everybody's fairly nice to each other, there's still that small town drama that cuts deep. Sometimes worse than living in a big city because you have to see those people every day. But it was fun. It was nice to get out of the valley.
It was, cool bar. I mean, like these two big giant white dogs were in there, and clearly it's dog friendly because they had a huge box of milk bones. On the bar, so. Which
I think they can get away with easier in a small town because here, you know, CD, you know very well. Like if you take a dog into a bar, like a venue, they're like, nah, because if they let one dog in there, then everybody's like, well, bring my dog next time.
Yeah, I actually got kicked out of the Smiths in Lakes Havasu for bringing in Roscoe.
You did?
Yeah. They asked me to never come back ever again.
Just because you had Roscoe with you, or what else did you do? You had to have like lipped off to the motherfucker.
I did lip off to. I lipped off to the manager and the checker and whatever, but I also didn't have him on a leash. So yeah, okay, I get it. You know, I could have probably put him, you know, his service vest on or whatever. But
so I did see a sign, and this is the only time that I've ever thought this, because I've always been like, that's fine to have your dog off a leash, but the sign said, by having your dog on a leash, you're actually respecting other people's privacy, because not a lot of people want dogs to run up to them. Not a lot of people are
afraid of them.
I used to work at the grocery store. I think that people that bring in dogs into the grocery store are very special human beings, and apparently I am one of those special human beings now. But I kind of have one of those, like, just, you know, don't give a fuck type attitudes. So I'm like, you know. Roscoe's
it's very selfish of you.
No, yeah, he's helping me pick out some cheese in the cheese section. You know?
Helping you pick out some cheese and leaving a dump on aisle 13.
Right. No.
Pisses on like the dry pasta.
He never dumps, dude. He never dumps or pees. He's a good boy.
Goes and fucking pees on the Tostinos.
It's Totino's.
Depends on what I was talking about. Totinos are the chips. I knew it would get him.
I knew it would kill you, dude. It's Tostitos or Totinos.
Yeah. Which one?
You said Tostitos.
Yeah, which is a different
I want to yank your beard right now. I want to, like, give me the bottom of your beard. Just go.
It's all right. You can just, what do you say? Bloslamic your way out of here.
Definitely gave me the bug for camping, though. It was so nice. It was a pretty drive.
It really did. Everything's green right now, which I think helps too. But after a winter that's been so long, but I didn't know that you played at the Triangle Lounge. So you played in Mount Pleasant.
One time. That was one of our first shows, and Penrose asked us to come down and play with them.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It's a cool little. It's for a small town. It's got a big stage. I think that used to be a Dodge dealership or something that they converted. But they've got a little stage there that I noticed, and never thought I would play there. You know, I never did in bands, but so. Segue into you're playing a band.
I do. Ginger and the Gents.
Yeah.
Going on about 7 years.
Are you the ginger or are you the gent?
I'm one of the gents. Although we played the Poly Riders Autism Awareness event yesterday, and Big Buddha was the MC.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And we were doing some dick jokes before the show, grower versus shower type stuff. So as a joke, he introduced us as, we got Ginger and the Giant. Oh, no, not the Giants.
That's funny.
The Gents.
I'm guessing Ginger's your lead singer.
Ginger's our lead singer, Chandra Marie. She's a redhead, so that's where the Ginger name comes from. Her name is not Ginger, but she'll take it.
Yeah. What is it like being a musician, just being in the local music scene? Because it seems hard. Like, do you have to go to a bar and be like, hey, here's my mixtape, or
Well, what we do is we go in,
like an audition?
We go in and we say we want $10,000, and if you don't pay, we'll burn your house down while your family's in there.
All right,
that'll get you some money.
That always works.
Classic. Is that extortion?
I think it's just good business.
Yeah, maybe you might be right.
Has it worked?
Yeah, everybody respects us.
We had another band on last week, or the guitarist, or bassist, yeah, Mike. And they put together like a press kit and stuff like that you leave at the venue. But that's always the hard thing with a band. We were talking about this before the show, is that as a band, if you don't get bodies in the venue, then you're pretty much worthless to the venue owner.
Yeah.
They want to sell alcohol, they want people in there, cover fees, charges, and stuff like that. I'm sure you've played at Liquid Joe's a bunch of times.
We've played there a couple times. That venue now with Ed is more about the touring acts.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't really cater to the
local acts.
When
I was growing up, that used to be the place. People were like, where do I go see local music? It's
Absolutely.
like, Liquid Joe's.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Kelly used to be the bar owner over there, and it was much more geared towards the local scene.
Yeah.
Ed geared it a lot more towards the touring bands, which
times change.
That is what it is. Mm-hmm. So,
what's your not to put you on the spot, but what's one of your favorite venues to play at?
Right now, probably Barbary Coast.
Oh, okay.
It used to be the Royal. Yeah. The Royal was my spot. I lived like 5 blocks from there. It was like my home away from home, so I was very sad when that closed. But Barbary's been really good to us. It's
a great location. Place. It's kind of middle of the valley-ish.
So the Royal isn't necessarily closed, though.
No, it's the break now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do they not have live music?
Royal Bliss, I think, did a special Christmas acoustic set there, but that's the only thing that I'm aware of that's happened there. I haven't
been in there either since it.
Barbary's a nice place.
Barbary's interesting place. I dated a girl that lived right behind the Barbary Coast, so we used to hop the fence and go over there all the time. With the chain link fence. Swim down the Murray River and fucking.
Yeah, I wonder how high the water is right there.
Oh yeah,
now. It's probably crazy.
But that's an interesting place to play because I feel I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but I think that's kind of like a rough crowd. It
has that reputation, and there's been some stuff happening there lately that I'd never seen anything like that there before. I'd never seen a fight or anything there, but then the bartender did get stabbed on New Year's Eve. So.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I wasn't talking about that. I was just like, oh,
or not the bartender, but the bouncer.
That was a place that people wanted to go to rock and roll.
It's a chill place. It's biker bar, obviously, but it's they don't. It's not good. Violence isn't good for business, No, they don't want that.
No.
And they're trying to change that stigma that they have about their bar. But I love it there. But
I haven't been there in a long time
either.
Years.
I think that's always a constant battle at any bar/venue, anywhere with alcohol. Right, is you're always going to try to balance that. You have to be very cognizant of. Get this guy out of here because he's already causing a problem.
Right.
But then you never know.
Well, you're talking about Liquid Joe's. I've probably seen more bar fights there than anywhere, but it doesn't have that stigma about it. It's just, seen Scotty hop over the bar and choke people out many times.
It has to happen sometimes.
I've seen people carried out and tossed in the street at Old Town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It can happen anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So who, Scotty, is that the guy that took
Big Scotty,
is that the guy that took me out to the parking lot
probably
a couple weeks
ago? Probably. One venue that I remember, I mentioned this last show too, but Bricks. Did you ever have a chance to play there?
Is that the Club Sound?
It might be. I don't know.
I never played that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I've seen some shows there.
Yeah, it was a good venue, but I think everybody remembers that from back in the day. I think everybody went to a show at Bricks.
Obviously not Jesse.
I've never been there.
I think I saw Wolf Mother there.
Okay, yeah.
Wolf Mother?
Yeah.
What's
you guys
Wolf
know
Mother?
Wolf Mother?
No, tell me.
They were kind of like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath sound-alikes. I don't know, maybe can I say 20 years ago?
Yeah, sure. You can say whatever you want.
We're getting old, man.
Comfortable with it. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great show. They were awesome.
Yeah, so you were saying that your band's been together for 7 years.
Yeah, I think it was 7 years in December.
That's a long time for like a local band. I feel
That's definitely longer than I've been in any other band. I think my longest was like 3 years prior to that. Yeah. So
it just seems like, with usually like a lot of local bands, you get together and then you hit some point where there's there's some kind of drama.
There's always drama.
There's always
band drama.
Yeah. We always got some guy in the band that's a jerk off.
Do you guys ever find it challenging? So, we're always trying to find people to come here on the podcast, and sometimes it's just like, oh, well, let's talk to Jesse Long or whatever. But how do you? What's your booking process? Is that challenging to go to?
Well, you're talking to the wrong person because our singer Chandra handles primarily all of that, and so I don't know exactly what her process is. I think it's a lot of word of mouth, and like you said, if you can bring some bodies in, then they'll want you back. Mm-hmm. And at that point, if you can get into a situation to where they call you, great. Yeah. And then you figure out your schedule. Yeah, we can do it. We can't do it.
When I was in bands, it was a lot of networking too, because you'd play shows with a lot of random bands, and you'd find the good ones that you really got along with, and then there's other ones that's like, I'm never playing a show with them again. But once you know enough bands too, they're like, hey, we've got one spot open, we need a band, can you come play this night? And so that kind of helps, I think, locally too.
Yeah, it's all networking with the bands. We just played with Royal Bliss at the Depot April 7th, so we've known those guys for years. So yeah, every band I've been in, I think, played shows with them. So it's just being in the scene a long time, you build up a network, and
you just start getting gigs. That's cool. Mm-hmm. You said one thing too. Well, I don't know if I'll necessarily bring it up, but I guess it's not saying anything really bad, but you mentioned that it's like the first band you've ever been in that has positive cash flow, which I think is always a huge thing for bands.
It's very nice. I mean, ultimately I would play music in a band either way, and I had for a long time, but all our bills are paid, and we put a little cash in our pocket, so it's pretty nice.
It makes it really hard when you have, when you first start off, and it's like, well, we're renting a practice space, so who's going to pitch? Is everybody pitching in equally?
Everybody pitch in, and then you got the one jerk off that we talked about in the band who's not only a dick, but he doesn't want to pay.
Yeah. Yeah, I played in a few bands with. It's interesting that when you're playing in different bands, you kind of, I don't want to stereotype people in a way, I guess, because you've always got sometimes you'll come across the singer that thinks they're really, really good when they're not that great, but they're like so sure that they're going to be famous. And then when you're practicing with them, you're like, man, you need to take some lessons.
Don't quit your day job.
No one quit your day job.
How often do you play?
At the moment, say three shows a month, maybe. Right now we've just played our 4th week in a row a show, and we got another one next week, Cinco de Mayo at bar named Sioux State. So we're in one every week, 5 weeks in a row so far.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
But yeah, I'd say around 3 to 4 a month usually.
That's pretty consistent.
It's pretty good.
8157 South State Street.
Not a sponsor. Yeah.
I used to work there. So.
Pretty girls.
No, the Sioux bars are really cool.
Love the Sioux bars.
Yeah, they're cool places to play at because there's just like a really cool young hip crowd to hang out.
And it's a mixed crowd too. There's young and hip, but if you're old timers like us, there's a few of us in there too, so it's comfortable. You don't feel like you're going to, I don't know, some of these bars downtown where it's like you feel like you're the invisible man in there.
Yeah. Have you ever been booed off of stage at any venue before, like in your music career?
I wish. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that great. You guys, listeners, can listen to the last episode. They want to hear that story. Long story short, the sound guy told us we were on our last song and we played it, and then they was like, "You got to do one more. We're not ready." And then just a guy in the background. Boo! Like, fuck.
Just one guy.
And then he started kind of like the string of boos, and then we just played our song anyway. And then after that, we kind of didn't want to stick around and watch the rest of the bands, as you can imagine. But
you got to stick around and boo them, man.
boo the other band. Boo. Yeah. It was at a venue where I'm like, I don't know if they're like really don't like us. If we go hang out in the crowd and start booing everybody, I don't know if we'll make it home tonight. It might make it to the hospital.
Yeah,
but.
I feel like if I was a performer and someone booed me like that, that would just instigate me. I mean,
oh yeah, you have defiance disorder for sure.
Oh, you haven't heard the worst of it yet, motherfucker.
That would have been the power move, is if we got booed and then we just purposefully played really shitty for 3 minutes, just completely out of time. And then at the end of it,
how loud can we get?
Turn everything up to 11, smash guitars and shit, but only the other band shit. Just kidding. No, I've never been. I think the closest that I've been was I played at the Midvale Theater a long time ago. It's a Pearl on Main now, but they actually closed because like straight edgers were going around there like just beating the shit out of everybody. And so they had all these signs up that said like absolutely no fighting, which I didn't know you really need to make a sign for.
Yeah. What's up with that? Like I see these videos of, I love me some, Rage Against the Machine and, some hard rock. Ooh, I got a hard frog in my throat. But some hard rock, and you see these kids like throwing their fists around
the mosh pit.
Yeah, like mosh pits. Yeah, but mosh pitting has got to a completely different level now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be careful, because I think a lot of mosh pits now are like people just looking for the right moment to fuck you up.
Yeah. You're gonna catch a fist.
Yeah, or like totally.
You
off
know what
guard.
I'm talking about, Jesse?
Well,
have you seen these kids just get all fucking wacko?
Yeah, they go crazy, man. They're probably on drugs.
Most definitely.
Well,
they're probably suffering.
Makes a lot of sense.
No, but I think when I was a kid, we'd get in the mosh pit, and it was kind of like, if you did catch you got caught off guard and you fell, like people would pick you up, because like the worst place to be is on the ground in a big crowd. You know what I mean? There was some like I don't know, it was a little bit civil back in the day, but now I just think it's like, yeah, let's like get a black eye for work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember going to a Metallica concert when I was like 19, and I think that was the first time I remember seeing mosh pits. But there was like 3 of them. There was a huge one in the middle where you had these ginormous, like 6'4", 250-pound meat, shaved head guys, and you're like, I'm not going in that one. And then you had like the medium level where you're like, okay, I could probably get in that mosh pit and hold my own and be okay. And then you had like the beginner. Well, these guys are more like just like weird geeky kids dancing around like hippies or something. Like I could clean up in this one.
Yeah. They have some Pokemon cards in their pocket. And shit.
You run into them and they apologize. They're like, sorry.
Yeah, I was at USANA last year, and mosh pit broke out, and just in the middle of the grass field.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm out of here.
Up on the hill?
Yeah, up on the hill.
So that seems like even more dangerous places, not flat ground and grass specifically, to have a mosh pit. Like my 38-year-old ankles are breaking just thinking about it.
What cracks me up is girls go in those.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I hate fucking up, 15-year-olds, because if you're going to be coming in, swinging your fists and shit, well, I'm going to crack you, bro.
Yeah. Assault on a minor all day.
Yeah.
It's it's weird, like crowd control for a venue. I went to Warped Tour once when I was younger, and my dumbass kept my wallet in my pocket, and I didn't realize that at a show that big, you can't turn around and just walk out. Like they're gonna be like, "Give me your foot. You're going crowd surfing, bud." And that's what happened. And then, like my wallet fell out, and I was looking for it forever. And I was like, I'd never been to a place where it's like, yeah, you don't walk out of here. You have to crowd surf out.
Did you find your wallet?
I got a call from the sheriff's office like 5 years later, and they're like, "Hey, we found your wallet."
5 years later?
5 years.
Yeah, and I said, "Well, I'll come get it." And he said, "Well, it's actually evidence for this case because this guy had like a bunch of people's wallets." And I was like, "Well, is everything in it?" Like, because I was dumb and had my social security card in there.
Man.
Oh, you got trampled by turtles?
Anyway, no, they found it, but they said they had to hold it as evidence. And at that point, I had already gotten new cards and everything. And it's like, I don't really need anything in there. Yeah. Maybe they still have it sitting in an evidence locker somewhere.
It probably is.
Should call them up. Have you ever been to a show that big where you had to crowd surf out, CD?
I've been to a lot of crazy shows, but I've never had a crowd surf out. I mean, I've seen like Beck at the Twilight before, and that was crazy.
But that was packed.
The Flaming Lips playing at the same Twilight. Anything at the I guess it was a Pioneer Park. And, I wasn't really super happy about the Twilight concert series moving to, the Pioneer Park. It was great at the Galvin Center, but
I went to one at Pioneer and almost got trampled. My friend and I had to hold each other's hands and squeeze all the way out because we were right in the middle of the center stage. So.
I was a smoker at the time, and I was smoking cigarettes, and this guy's like, "Get your fucking cigarette out of my face!" I'm like, motherfucker.
CD started a mosh pit,
and he's like, "I have a child with me," and then next thing you know, killing in the rage up,
killing in the name of,
yeah. But yeah, I don't know, I get such anxiety with those things. Like, I enjoy music so much. Like, I see all these groups coming into town, and I like to support my local friends. Like the Ginger and the Gents, and but it's just hard for me now. To get out there and into the pit or the mix or the soup.
I think when I was younger, it was easier for me to put up with the crowds, but as I get older, I just this is the best way I can put it. I just start to think everybody's a shitty person, especially when they're in a crowd.
Yeah.
Because you go to IKEA and there's a family taking up the whole big ass aisle, and they're just standing there all on their cell phones. Like, could you just go do that in the kitchen display over there, not right in the middle where everybody's walking? And when you go to a concert, it just seems there's lots of those people.
Yeah.
Where you're there's some guy that's you're taking a selfie in front of the bathroom door, and you're like, I just want to get past you, man. Can you do that 3 feet to the left?
But Jesse, I think that's what makes these smaller venues a little more intimate, right?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when I go see some local live music, and it's you go in, it's like Goldilocks. You go into one bar and you're like, well, there's not enough people here.
Yep.
Let's go somewhere else. And then you go somewhere else and you're like, all right, well, there's too many people here.
Yep.
Let's go somewhere else. You want to find that happy medium where there's people, but it's not you're not like a sardine.
Yeah.
You want to be able to order drinks and move around. And so it's finding that happy medium, I think, at local shows is what I like to do. And,
do you
the big concerts, unless it's someone that I really love, like Tool, I'm not going.
Tool?
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you! You're
CD's most hated band is
You're
Tool
kicked
for
off
some
the
reason.
Ouch! I'm out of here.
Nope.
I mean, I hate those guys.
CD can go. You can say Tool's fine.
I'll leave. Do you have a favorite venue, not necessarily that you like to play at, but somewhere that you want to watch music at? For me, just to give you an example, I love watching music at Red Butte.
Oh yeah,
Gardens.
That's a nice
awesome.
place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, my pockets aren't that deep, but I've got friends. They take me there sometimes.
If you can
it's
even
nice.
get a ticket,
Yeah, I saw Kenny Wayne Shepherd there.
I saw him there too.
That was badass.
Wait,
couple
who's
years
Kenny
ago.
Wayne Shepherd?
He's a guitarist.
Amazing blues rock guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Saw Buddy Guy there. He's there.
Oh, I love
this year,
Buddy
too.
Guy.
Buddy Guy's
Yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Saw just because someone gave me a ticket and I could go, the B-52s.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I bet that was cool.
It was
bet it
fun.
was,
It was
too.
fun.
That's one of those.
But
bands
that's a great venue.
Yeah, I love
I
that
mean, I
venue.
don't get there very often, but
for
that's
as big as that
amazing.
is, it's surprisingly intimate. You know, because you can bring your own alcohol, which everybody
Yeah,
Yeah.
food.
and food. Yeah, and then you just sit in the
Chill
grass
in
on
the
a beautiful
grass.
summer night.
It's
Listen
beautiful.
to music.
Nice.
Sandy Amphitheater is pretty cool too. It's a little smaller. It's,
I haven't been there
I
yet.
haven't been there either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
think they have a really good lineup this year.
They're
too.
pulling in some crazy names.
Yeah, they do
I don't
have
know
a.
why.
I mean,
311 last year.
Yeah, they had a great lineup.
And I said this last show, but I think there's a shift in music where people get these big bands are sick of trying to fill a stadium, and they'd rather just sell out a small venue, play a really good show, and then go home. They don't want to deal with all the red tape of a huge venue. They kind of like the places like Sandy Amphitheater, Red Butte, the Soundwell downtown is the perfect size venue.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's kind of the shift from we need to be the biggest, best venue and get as many people in here the Complex. There's a purpose for that, but then you kind of feel everybody has a better seat at a smaller venue.
Yeah,
that,
I like smaller venues myself.
You know what the fucked up thing about I like going to Red Butte and Sandy Amphitheater. I haven't been there yet, but you wait in line, but to get your ideal seat, you have to get there super early.
You do.
and you're gonna have your picnic basket and your blankie, and you're gonna put it on the lawn, and you're gonna do the Grateful Dead dirt twirling fucking magazine dance
at Red Butte.
Yeah, all
what
day.
Are you talking
what are you talking about?
I don't know.
You have to get there so early.
Last time you went to Red Butte.
If you have someone else coming in your group and they cut in line with you, they will put them in the back of the line.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm like...
So I've never gone to Red Butte early. I just always go and then find a spot because there's not really a bad seat in that whole venue. Even if you're way in the back.
Until you're at the front row, bro. Like, there's nothing better than seeing Willie Nelson or Reba McEntire or the Avett Brothers front fucking row doing your dirt twirling, hippie dance. There's nothing better than that.
I want to see this dirt twirling hippie dance.
Oh, I will show you. I will demonstrate the dirt twirling dance.
Okay. On break?
Yeah, okay. Because that's actually coming up right now. A short moment of pause. Dude, Jesse, one of my favorite things to do when I plan vacations and stuff, it's usually wrapped around going to see a show.
Nice.
I want to go see a band, or there's Coachella and Stagecoach and all these fucking music venues, whatever. But I don't know if I can handle all that. But I do want to see a good show, and I want to hear what your show is. What is your show? What is the band that you're going to go see? What is your favorite, genre of music?
Aggressive.
Yeah.
As far as shows, I'm not a show aficionado. Like I said, most days of the week I'd take a local show over a big show.
Yeah.
I think we already said the Tool thing. If I'm gonna go to a big show, I never been to a Coachella or something like that, but I bet that's a good time,
dude. It makes me want to be like Miley Cyrus.
Coachella?
Coachella does?
Yeah, dude. If only I was 27.
What, you want to free the nip?
Yeah, I'll free my nips all day long.
I've never been to EDC or Coachella or something like that, right? But I just imagine a bunch of stinky motherfuckers at Coachella. You know what I mean?
The whole thought about it makes me nervous. I don't like crowds like that.
Yeah.
Big crowds make me nervous.
I know, and it makes me nervous too, but don't you think it'd be fun to go?
I think that would be a blast. I wish I was still 20 years younger.
Swap and sweat with all the fucking Hollywood elite,
Well, and I think that those big festivals pull in huge names. People you're never going to see, again, or at least you'll just want to see once and be like, that's good enough. Like going to see The Weeknd when you went to California.
Yeah, that was a blast.
You're like, yeah, would you do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Well,
I would go see The Weeknd.
Disapprove.
Hey, you can't talk?
I thought I was on to something.
Laura, you can't talk?
I only want to see him once more, though.
Yeah.
Just one more time.
I just think that's you guys spent quite a big
chunk of
money on tickets, and then it was also in California, and you flew. So,
rented a car.
I would be like, I like The Weeknd, but not that much.
A badass Airbnb in downtown. It was fun. Yeah. Had a good time.
Well,
so
at least you weren't.
Didn't he do wasn't he did the halftime show with the jock straps on the face? What was that about?
He's always been weird like that. I think that's another form of we were talking about Guar, being how they turn and Kiss, they turn their kind of music into a different form of entertainment and a brand. I think that's The Weeknd, is because people were starting all those rumors with The Weeknd, he had the bandages on his face, and they're like, oh, he botched his plastic surgery, and then he did his next album, and his face was he did prosthetics to make him look like he had a swollen face, and they're like, we knew it, I think that's just his way of fucking with everybody.
Yeah.
And so it kind of
yeah, he's trolling.
It's the Mayweather effect, right? Mayweather said, you either love me or you hate me, but either way you're watching.
Yeah.
So
I'm just glad we went on Friday instead of Saturday, because he lost his voice right at the start of the second night.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Lost it on the weekend.
Yeah. He did. I see what you did there.
That was awesome. Yeah, but he's always been really, his music's always been really good,
Yeah.
And he always puts on a really good production, I think. It's hard to do that though if you're a local band. I don't know. Unless you're like Rammstein. They're also he got his license in pyrotechnics just so he could blow shit up on stage.
No.
I heard they're badass.
So Are you guys comfortable with me telling you a Rammstein story?
I mean, if you're asking, I mean, the listeners can't say yes or no, so you should think about them before you start.
Dude, I watched a clip from a Rammstein concert.
If it's what I think it is, then I saw it too. But continue.
Okay, so he pulls out a large prosthetic cock.
Yep.
And he starts coming all over everybody.
That's just gross.
And like pretend thrusting this.
It looked like an intern or something. Like it came from backstage. It's like, what's going on?
A humiliatrix or whatever. I don't know. I now know that I fucking hate that kind of music.
I think they play great music. I just don't think that's
awful. That is awful fucking music. He pulled a fucking prosthetic cock out.
What does that have to do with the music?
Thing, you now hate music. You can hate the guy and like the music.
Yeah.
I think the music's shit, and
I think you're being defensive right now.
I think you are too. You're being a little aggressive.
Yeah.
I might be.
I think that
everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know?
I think you're mad that the dick was fake, and you just wish he had his real dick out.
That's probably what it is.
You know what, Wade?
We're on to him.
Yeah, we figured you out, man.
Smack you, bro.
If it was a real dick, he'd be like, "Oh God,
he's
this
like,
music's great."
All of a sudden, Rammstein makes me horny. He's jerking off to Do Hearts Mish.
No, it's just weird.
Slinging ropes up there.
I just don't get it. You know, I don't.
I think it's a shock value thing, you know, and I think that they knew if they did that, then it was going to go around the internet. It's like a publicity stunt, you know? Like, it's so absurd that
like,
it's going to go viral.
Get my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth.
Yeah, the slap. It's a stunt, you know?
Well, Alice Cooper. I mean, he had a lot of shock value, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I feel like there's a story.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop.
He had a lot of shock value too. I think
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ozzy too.
Mm-hmm. Bit off a fucking bat's head.
Yeah.
See, that's crazy. It was probably a real bat.
It probably was.
It's like Airheads. He wipes his ass with his contract.
Yep.
Or takes over a radio station with water pistols with hot sauce. You know, you got to do what you got to do in this business.
You got to make waves, or else you're nobody. You know.
Who's the guy that? Oh man, there's been so many weird, crazy stunts on stage. I'm just trying to think of.
Travis Barker did that Blink 182 where they put his drum set on like this boom. And he went out over the crowd, and then it would flip him upside down over the crowd and shit. Yeah, he was all harnessed in.
Huh.
Like Tommy Lee Jones, or Tommy Lee. Yeah, back when Tommy Lee Jones was in Motley Crue, remember?
Yeah, I think that there is an aspect of entertainment that you have to put on a good show. You know, you can't just unless you've got like phenomenal music, you also have to like work the crowd. And I think a lot of people don't do that in bands. Sometimes you're like, I've gone to shows with local bands where it doesn't feel like I'm at a show. It just feels like they're at work. You know, like they're like, well, I booked it tonight, so I have to be here. You know, and you're like, wow, they don't seem like they really even want to be doing this.
Sharon, where's my blue M&Ms? Damn it.
That's always a weird thing too. When we toured the Pearl, I remember that I thought it was so cool because after we got everything on stage and set up and sound checked, we got to go sit in the green room, man.
I saw the
dressing
green room last
dude.
week.
You sit back there and you feel so important, and like the venue owners like you're nothing to me, but you just think you're so cool. You're like, who's got the cocaine? Let's get crazy in here tonight. But in reality, you're just sitting back there like semi-nervous and like not sure what to do. Do you still get nervous?
Do the cocaine. That's just a given.
Well, yeah. I mean, every good venue has like a kilo in the bag.
A kilo.
Do you still get nervous before shows? Like the butterflies or like the
Not usually. Occasionally. I don't know. For the most part, no.
No. Yeah. I think even like no matter what, I never got over that. I just learned how to manage it a little bit. I get nervous, but as soon as you start playing, that goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah, here and there. I don't know. played the Whiskey and on Sunset Strip, and I was a little bit like, well, this is supposed to be a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
Got a little nervous for that one.
What got you into music to begin with? Have you just always done it, or?
You know, there was that girl in junior high that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, if I played guitar,
I bet I
it'd be
could
done
get her.
deal, man.
Yeah.
It'd be over.
Did it work?
No, it didn't work because it took a lot longer to get good.
You weren't that guy that, like, at every college party you bust out your guitar, were you?
Oh, I hate that guy.
Were you that guy?
No.
Okay. I always.
I was the guy. My grandma's on her deathbed, and my mom's like, "Just go play grandma some guitar." I'm like, "Fuck off."
Oh my god! I mean, you make a point there, because what if, like, grandma doesn't want you to play guitar and you're in there?
She probably would have loved it, but I'm like, you know, grandma wants to see me. She knows where I play. She's like, she can't move.
They wheeled the bed in the bag. You're like, "Hey, grandma."
Sorry, grandma.
So you started in junior high then?
Yeah, around there.
And did you fall in love with, like, just playing music and playing guitar?
It took a minute. I'd say it was really after high school that I started diving into it a lot.
Yeah.
In high school, I was like a jock in football, and that was the focus, as well as, like, you know, egging people's houses. And
You were a jock? Like, what were you? What?
I was a faux jock because I went to Granite High, so anyone that wanted to be a jock could be a jock there.
Oh yeah. You could be on the baseball team, the football team, and the soccer team all at once.
Yeah, if we had enough players to, you know.
You didn't have a pool there, but you're the
still
head
on the
swimmer.
swim team. You have to go pay the fee at the community pool or whatever. That's funny.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. The Granite High School is fucking parking lot now.
It's a library and houses and.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
A library?
Yeah, that area is getting nicer actually, but school's totally gone.
Gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it? Granite.
33rd South and 5th East.
I know the area.
Oh, yeah.
The old school.
Did you play in the band and everything too, or were you too busy with, like, sports?
I didn't really get into a band.
In high school?
I moved out to L.A. after high school. Thought I'd, go be a rock star or whatever. And
yeah.
So I played in kind of a little band down there, but it was just a coffee house. I wasn't even 21, so.
Yeah.
And then that didn't really go anywhere. I didn't have any friends out there, and got to be a drag, so I moved back to Salt Lake and didn't really get into, like, a real band playing gigs till I was about 23, actually.
Oh, yeah.
How many bands have you been in?
Half a dozen, give or take. But when this band started, Ginger and the Gents, at that time, I hadn't been in a band for close to 2 years. And it was like, on the one hand, I was like, I'm too old, it's over, just hang it up. But at the other hand, it's like, was such a part of who I am that I couldn't give it up. Wanted to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran into Chandra at Sue's on Highland, just random one night. I'd played in a band with her earlier, and she's just like, "Are you doing anything? Are you doing any music?" And I'm like, "Dude, no, I'm fucking itching to do anything."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm not doing anything either. Let's at least just jam and see how that feels." And so we just got some people together and started jamming, and
7 years later.
And right from the jump, it just stuff started happening for us.
Clicked.
To where, like, our first show, we played the Stateroom.
Oh, no way. That's
dope. I love that place.
That's a friend of ours who's actually now our drummer in this band, was in a different band called Berlin Breaks, and they were filming a music video at the Stateroom there, and a band canceled, and he knew Chandra, and we'll do it. So our first show, like, right out of the gate, was the Stateroom, playing for all the local people that knew Berlin Breaks. Were all there because they made such a big deal out of the music video. That just, like, right out of the gates,
perfect exposure.
Everybody saw us.
Yeah,
and our
awesome.
second show, I think, was opening for Royal Bliss at the Royal. It was like wham, wham.
Yep.
And, like, right out of the gates, like, dude, we're like the hottest topic,
That's awesome. Yeah, you got that, like, almost the break in the beginning.
Yeah, just right off the top.
Yeah.
And I was like, mid-30s, and I was like, I guess I could still do this.
Yeah. Well, and I think every local band has to go through that too, where you just play an empty room sometimes.
Oh, all the time.
And like your friends are as supportive as friends are. You definitely need those friends, but when you're in a band long enough trying to sell tickets to the same people over and over, they're like, yeah, sure, like, oh, I'll get you on the list or something. Even then when they just never show up, and you're like, well, I guess we're just playing to like these 4 non-locals in the back who probably
playing to the other band, everybody's girlfriend, and my mom.
Yeah. But not grandma.
So
not grandma.
Out of curiosity, as a musician myself, and I'm definitely out of practice or whatever. But do you guys do you write your own music? Do you have original songs, or do you
mostly originals? We do throw some covers in. The covers we're most excited about, we try to do in our own style if we're gonna put it on a record.
I mean, everyone's gonna get a little bored of play that funky music.
Well,
who's getting bored of that?
I think Mike said it really good last week, and he said when you play a cover and you try to recreate what that other band has done, if you don't do it perfect, you either people like it or you piss them off. So if you put a cover in your own style, it kind of like clears their mind of like, oh, I know the lyrics, but it's different.
And you still get to feel like you're an artist, even though you're playing someone else's song. That we do.
Mm-hmm.
On our first record, we covered the Stones' "Sympathy for the Devil."
Oh yeah, I love that.
And we did it all legit. We contacted their publishing and we paid them $2,000 to use the song, but they said we couldn't use the song title, which is not copyrightable. So, that's interesting. But they put it in the contract. So we ended up calling it "Pleased to Meet You," but it had a much ours. We switched it from the major key to the minor key to have a much darker vibe. And so a lot of people would come up and be like, I didn't even like that original, but I love how you guys do it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. That doesn't give you that sense of being an artist still.
Yeah.
Like creating something original based off an idea.
And people are like, they're like, if it wasn't for the lyrics being the same, there's nothing else about it that's anything like the original, really.
Yeah, we brought up last week Disturbed's cover of "Sound of Silence."
It was. I watched the video, dude. It was great.
Okay, I got a story. I got a story about that. There's a band called Boba Flex.
Okay, yeah.
And they're kind of mid-level, sort of like a Royal Bliss type of a range. And I'd become aware of them. They used to play with Bliss all the time, and they did that same thing before Disturbed did it.
Oh, no kidding.
Like, you can look it up on Apple Music and listen to it. They did the same thing.
We should look that up.
Before Disturbed did it. And so when Disturbed did it and got all over the radio, I was like, dude, it's cool, but someone else already did it, I know.
I really liked that interpretation of the song.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it got so overplayed.
Gets old fast.
I hate that.
I mean, for good reason.
It makes me like, I love good music, but when shit gets overplayed and I don't know, man. It just gets a little
no stairway,
exhausting.
Man. No stairway.
Play Freebird.
Yeah, that's classic heckle,
Hotel California.
Yeah.
Am I a C word for saying that?
No, I agree, man.
Well, all songs get a little overplayed when they first come out.
Yeah, like Sugar Ray. I just want to fly.
Oh, God, I just threw up in my mouth.
Me, baby.
Hootie and the Blowfish. They're actually coming to... Aren't they coming to
I think so,
Red Butte?
I think they
Dude,
are.
Darius Rucker is a legit country singer, man.
Yeah.
I really like his shit a lot.
Nice.
What else? What other kind of music do you listen to?
At the moment, I'm huge into what I call organic down-tempo techno music.
Yeah, me too. Kind of, yeah.
Artists like Elfenberg, Raposa. It's just like, it's like ambient techno music. It's just really chill.
I listen to a lot of that too. Yeah, like French down-tempo.
Yeah, and so that I've been really into that kind of stuff lately.
Yeah, I usually do software development, so I like things that don't have lyrics, because if I hear the lyrics, it distracts me from what I'm doing. So
I'm tired of lyrics. I'm tired of electric guitar. I'm tired of regular drum sounds.
Yeah.
It's just all kind of boring. I mean, I still love, Smells Like Teen Spirit once in a while. It comes on, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is a good song.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm pursuing, to listen to.
I know. We got Curtin to the XM channel Chill. It's all down-tempo stuff. And
that's a good channel.
Man, I love listening to this when I'm driving because I'm usually so angry. But now I listen to Chill channel. It's just like a soundtrack to like easy driving. Yeah, it's cool. I like down-tempo, like Tycho and Bonobo and.
Oh yeah, Bonobo's great. I love it.
Comtrues. He's pretty. He's got that one. He's got like an '80s retro vibe to his music, but it's I love that. I love like focus music.
Is that? Damn, I didn't even think about that. Like, it's focus music.
Yeah.
Like, this is music that helps me be productive at work while I have my headphones on or whatever.
Music you put on when you clean. Or
Yeah. Speaking of that, I need to put on some down focus music to clean some dishes.
Yeah. It works. It'll work. It'll focus you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question, and I think I got side-railed enough that I forgot. I don't know. It's gone now.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Twice, actually.
Twice if it feels good.
3, if you really like it. Yeah.
We could do this all day.
No, I think music is kind of the thing that makes the world go round, though. You know,
that and cocaine.
I feel like, cocaine definitely helps a lot too, but.
You get your dishes done for sure.
No, whether it's doing the dishes, but even just like
I cleaned out the middle of the straw.
Just setting your mood sometimes. If I'm in a bad mood, I can put on some music and feel like, okay, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be just fine, Reddish.
Mm-hmm. And anywhere you go, you go,
yeah,
you can always put it on.
Quite often, so I don't really have. I have a bump box. I don't know if you know what a bump box is, but it's basically like a exaggerated
box that you do your cocaine off of.
Yeah.
Bumps off
bump box.
It's an exaggerated like Bluetooth speaker. It just says it's a. Anyway,
all of the music that comes out of it sounds just.
But
like
sometimes I like to go out to my car and I have like the big nicest sound package in my car, and sometimes I'd like to just go sit at my garage and just bump music because it just elevates my mood. It puts me in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
But could you imagine watching a movie without like a soundtrack behind it?
Yeah, like Star Wars with no music would be lame.
Because the music just invokes that emotion. Mm-hmm. If you're angry, you can listen to things that like agree with your anger, and it makes you feel better. If you're sad, you can listen to sad music, or it can change your mood too.
Yeah.
And I think when I was in bands, I didn't really consciously think of music like that. I was just thinking it was cool to play the drums, but I think I
want to get laid, man. Is it that hard to make us look cool?
We need more fire. That's gonna do it. Is there what was a band when you were younger that you listened to, or a song now? I remembered a song that you can listen to over and over and you never get sick of.
Never get sick of over and over. God, that's a hard one. I think I get sick of almost anything if you listen to it.
This is the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friends.
You know how many fucking listeners we just lost?
Yeah, all of them.
Come back.
You'll still have one. I'll listen.
You know what? Led Zeppelin was a huge influence for me.
Yeah,
in my playing, especially in my early days. So. And I don't listen to it over and over, but I haven't gotten tired of it. Is Kashmir.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that song. Rush. It's Rush for me. Mm-hmm.
Rush, I could see that, listening to that. Another good question, I think, is what's a band that you enjoy that you can listen to their whole album? Because I think a lot of people are like, I like one or two songs from this album, one or two from that, but like a whole album.
So I think there's only 2 whole albums that I enjoy like front to back. And that's Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
I just think that's the only perfect album that was ever created. It's just
agreed.
I don't know why bands can't just do that all the time because it'd be great.
Yeah.
And then there's a group called the Floozies. Has an album called Tell Your Mother, and it's real funky, but the guy plays guitar and sings, and I think it's his brother plays the drums, but then it's like looped and it has an electronic feel, and it has it's a real light, funny vibe to it. It's like, and like, it reminds me like disco or something.
Yeah.
And or like old funk music, like Rick James, bitch. That kind of a sound to it, but electronic, and it's still got the instruments. And Tell Your Mother, I think it's 10 tracks, and every track's great.
Yeah, you just put it on in the background and not even be disturbed by it.
I've got one to add to that too. One that I can listen to front to back is the Flaming Lips. Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
I know
album.
that song. I don't know the whole album though.
Yeah.
They say
Wait, it's not karaoke. This is a podcast.
Who sings that?
It's the Flaming Lips.
You should let them.
Yeah, I don't think you. Yeah,
Fucking savage.
But they do like that album. Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots it's phenomenal. It's almost like it tells a story, and that's what I really enjoy about music. Is if just like the Wizard of Oz. It tells a story.
Scary stuff now.
Yeah, jeez. I know this was going to take such a dark turn.
No, it's not that dark.
No, it isn't.
I'm reliving childhood nightmares now.
I feel like I'm going to get crushed by a house.
Flying monkeys.
Oh, that just reminded me of the new Willy Wonka and who's playing the Oompa Loompas.
The new Willy Wonka?
They're making another one, yeah.
Who was just telling a story about the Oompa Loompas?
Dave, I think Dave, and then Dale.
Mm-hmm,
Dale's been on the show. I forget who's playing it. I'll look it up real quick.
Like the original Oompa Loompas. There's a story behind that.
Oh, yeah. Do we really want to get into that?
Yeah, I do.
The original, somebody found like an old transcript of like the original Willy Wonka, and they basically were slaves brought over from Africa. And then
real slaves?
Yeah. Like that was the
Those
original
little fucking
story.
midgets were slaves?
Yeah, but I don't
that,
think they were midgets in the original writing of it. There was a totally different meaning, and I think when they did like the movies, they're like, well, we can't do that. That would really make the movie.
We can't have black people. We got to get midgets.
Just really You're gonna laugh so hard when I find who's playing the new Oompa Loompa. I can't remember.
It's gonna be Johnny Depp.
No.
Been demoted, bro.
It is. Oh, geez, I'm gonna. Hugh Grant.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No way.
I'll show you, man.
I might have to hard pass on that.
Look at this, man.
This
might
not
be a
Michael
troll,
J.
too.
Fox?
Oh, he'd be perfect.
That's the picture.
That's got to be fake, dude.
You think so?
It's totally fake.
Hugh Grant confirmed to play an Oompa Loompa in Wonka.
No way.
Yeah, hey.
Well, who's going to be
This
Wonka?
is a prequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Who's Wonka?
I don't know.
Who's the big wonk?
I don't know. Look it up on Google. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say here because this is all about Hugh Grant. That's an old ass looking Oompa Loompa though, huh?
Right?
Yeah, he seems a little tall.
Slightly.
I'm sure they'll do some editing tricks. That's the one concern CD had. He seems a little too tall.
I was gonna say some Tom Cruise editing tricks. Like
That reminded me of the
we're
show I
gonna add
just
a whole
watched.
foot onto this guy's entire size.
They did a lot of film tricks in the other Willy Wonka show just to make them appear, and a lot of CGI too, I guess.
Have you watched Quasi yet? So
What's Quasi?
It's about Quasimodo, but it's done by the guys that did Super Troopers. Is that?
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
So there's and they all play multiple characters, but there's one that they
Broken Lizard.
Broken Lizard.
Yeah. Super
Comedy.
Troopers.
Comedy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. CD is joining the conversation.
No, that's that's the name of their comedy troupe.
Oh, okay. So anyway, there's a guy in one of the characters, and he tests out the torture machines. Like that's his job.
Yeah.
And he starts out really short, and by the end of the show, he's really tall. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that would fuck with your head. You're like, what's going on here?
I just sucked 1 year of your life away.
God, I've got the rest of the weekend off. I need some new shows to
Yeah,
watch.
watch it.
Reno
It's funny.
911.
It's funny.
Reno 911.
You don't like that?
No, man. Reno 911's it's a bunch of tomfoolery.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? That's like your definition. If I looked up tomfoolery in the fucking dictionary, your picture's in there.
He's just mad because he didn't get on the show.
Yeah, that's true. You could have been like Frisbee, the guy that lives out of his
No, I'd
truck.
be the guy with the short shorts.
Yeah. What's Dangle?
God.
Lieutenant Dangle?
Dingle, yeah.
Oh,
I got something
appropriate name.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for coming out and spending your Sunday with
pleasure.
us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. It's
Yeah, it was cool.
CDs
fun.
What did you just call me?
I was going to make a worse joke, but I'm like, I should go easy on you.
Yeah. Jesse, is there anything that you want to promote? Any upcoming shows?
Cinco de Mayo, Susan State. We have the whole night, so
I'll have to stop by.
yeah, be a good
That's
time.
8136 South State Street, right?
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, though.
You are the guy that memorizes shit like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. That's where I met all these people.
You know, wear your sombreros and let's party.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, cool.
This has been your weekly InSalt.
I keep thinking that you can't end the show any more awkwardly, and then the next week comes, and I'm like, oh, you did.
We succeeded again.
I did it right. You did it right.
How are we going to get out of this?
Wait, I didn't do it right?
You did it right. Yeah.
I found the doorknob this time.
Last week you struggled.
Where is the doorknob? Last week I wasn't even here last week.
No, Laura struggled last week with the doorknob.